Mango classification. The scientific name for mango is Mangifera indica, and the Arabic name for it is mango. And in some countries, the old names for it is also mango or manga. And the Persian, Hindi, and in some Arabic also excellent. It's also called Amba or Ambeh or Am. So the mango scientific name, that's what you need to worry about, is the Mangifera indica. Where the mango come from, the origin of mango is also from Asia. It's from South and Southeast Asia. Okay, it's still found in the wild in some places like in Bangladesh and Myanmar. Some wild mango cultivars are still there. They think there are two centers actually of domestication for mangoes, depending on the type of mango. Now it's time for you to know there are actually two types of mangoes, not one type. One is called monoembryonic, which is the Indian mango, and second type is polyembryonic, which is the Indo-Chinese mango. So this is mostly like Southeast or Southeast Asian type, and this is mostly Indian type. Okay, so monoembryonic in Arabic means وحيد الأجنة or حادية الأجنة, and polyembryonic means متعددة الأجنة. And then later on, I will tell you the difference between these two types, between the monoembryonic and the polyembryonic mangoes. It came to Arabia, most likely also introduced from India by the traders, but the first reported mango that was brought from Sri Lanka to Egypt in 1825. But there are also records that also in Oman, the first mango came also from India, and it was cultivated in Qaniyat in Ibri al-Dhahra, that area, and that was the first mango during the Nabahna era in Oman. But that's not confirmed. The most confirmed one is this one from Sri Lanka and Egypt in 1825. Okay, so this is where the mango is cultivated worldwide since 4,000 years ago. So it's also like late ban. It's not new. It is very old crop. It started from this Indian subcontinent, Asian monoembryonic. As you can see, the arrow here, it's gone to Arabia, most likely to Oman. And then another group went to Africa, and from Africa, the Portuguese took it. Oman is most likely brought it to Africa, and then Portuguese took it in 1700 to Latin America, and from there, by the Spanish, it traveled to the rest of the Northern America. That's how it moved. That's how the mango moved in the history. The mango family belongs to Anacardiaceae. It's not seen here, but it's Anacardiaceae. And this family is actually a very large family, Anacardiaceae. Okay, so this family is also a large family of flowering plants. There is about 35 related species to mango. 11 of those are actually mango. So there's a whole bunch of mango species out there. This family also include other fruit crops like cashew and like pistachios. Both of these belong to the same family, Anacardiaceae. Mango world production is about 28 million tons, and these are the top countries that produce mango. India is the top by the most important, then China, Thailand, Pakistan, Mexico, Indonesia, Philippines, and then Brazil, Nigeria, and Egypt. But by far the largest one is India. In terms of import and exports, the top exports is Mexico, and then Brazil, Peru, Netherlands, Philippines, and other countries. You can notice here, there is the Netherlands. Why they export mango? Because they also import mangoes. It's a very big country in something called re-export of mango in the Netherlands. So they bring the mango from other countries and then they re-export it again. That's what they do. Other countries, they produce mango on their own. You can see here, India is not here because India consumes most of the production. They don't export most of it, they consume it, except in neighboring markets like Oman and other countries. So even though you have 3.5 million tons of mango, only 651,000 of that is traded or exported. So the export is only a fraction of what is being produced in the world. And you can see here also China is not in the top. Even though they are in the top in production, they are not in the top in the exports. In the imports, who imported most of the mango? The United States import 30% of the world mango, then the Netherlands, but the Netherlands, they imported, then they export again. Hong Kong also import a lot of mango. France, Germany, and other countries, especially in Europe, they import a lot of mangoes. In the Arabian Peninsula, only two countries that have a huge production of mango, and that's Yemen. And you can see the Yemen production is huge, 27,500 metric tons of mango. Then Oman, about 100,000 tons. UAE also produces a significant amount, not like Yemen and Oman, but they do produce about 4,500 tons of mangoes. There is also some in other countries like Saudi Arabia, but it's not really too high, not too much. In Oman, the largest area where the mango is cultivated is Al-Botany, north and south, almost 70% of it there, and also in Al-Dhahira, about 10%. So between these two, about 80% is between Botany and Dhahra. The rest of the areas, they also have about 10% here in Sharqiyya, and other places are just a little bit each, like 3%, 4% Muscat Musallam, 2%, and a little bit also in Lusta and Dhufar. The mango tree is evergreen. It's very large. It can reach 20 meters. It has very deep root system. Of course, it is a dicot, and that's why it has a very deep taproot system. It's a dicot crop. It can survive for up to 300 years old, so it can survive for a very long time. This is the tree in Qorayat. So you can see the tree is very large, very big tree. You can see how tall this tree is. See, the people are there. See, this is the people. So the height of the person is like this. And you can see how tall the mango tree is here. They are very, very big and very tall. And here you can see how wide the trees are. They are very wide. You can see also here how. So the mango tree have different, characteristics depending on where we are. This is in the Philippines, and that one is in Oman. So the tree can be very tall and very wide. The leaves of the mango is lanceolate. You can see it's very long leaf. The colors are different when they are young. Some are purple, some light green, some red. Then all of these colors will tend to become dark green when they are mature. So when they become mature, they become green, dark green, but before that, they have different colors. They also grow in flushes. They don't grow all at once or continuously all the time. They grow in flushes. That is like 2 or 4 times a year. So every 3 months, they will grow in one branch with their own different color and then another branch and so on. So this picture show you the different flushes of mango. You can see the different colors also of the leaves. So this is characteristics of the cultivars. So different cultivars will have different colors. So each cultivar have its own color. The flowers of the mango is, as I mentioned before, also they are terminal like citrus. They are not, they are in panicles and they are terminal. And they are not single, they are not solitary, they are inflorescence. Inflorescence means they are all multiple flowers in one panicle. So these are more than one flowers in one panicle. And you studied this before, by the way. They are like citrus. They also produce 4,000 flowers. In citrus, remember, it's like that, but only about 1 or 5% finally they produce fruits. The same thing here. There are 4,000 flowers in mango, but mostly male. Very few hermaphrodite, means perfect flowers. And these perfect flowers are pollinated by flies or thrips. Not too much by bees, okay? Most of it by flies, actually. So the ability to set fruit related to the number of the hermaphrodite flowers. So the number of perfect flowers, these are the ones that become a fruit. Of course, the male flower will not have ovary, so they don't produce fruit. The flowers take about 4 to 6 weeks, so it's about a month when they produce flowers. So flowering time in mango about this week, like 4 to 6 weeks, 1 month to 1 month and a half. The flowering can be induced. Sometimes the mango does not flower. So if it doesn't flower, then you need to apply certain treatments, either cold spill, you can also water stress it, you can smoke it, you can apply potassium nitrate, you can also apply hormonal treatment like gibberellin. All of these will help the mango flower. You can see the flowers of the mango. They also come in different colors, like the young leaves. These inflorescence on the outside, on terminal buds, as you can see here, and this mango is flowering, and all of these are in AES. You can see here again the colors. They can be yellow, they can be red, so they are different colors. And you can see here a lot of these are male, actually. They are not female flowers. Most of these are male. Some of them are female, as you can see, and they will start producing fruits. But as I mentioned to you, this whole tree can carry a lot of flowers, but then only very little, maybe 1%, becomes a fruit. This is the flower, single flower of the mango tree. You can see this is the ovary, and this is the style, and this is the stigma, and these are the petals of the mango flower. And they also born in a disc here, like citrus. In order to enhance flowering, as I mentioned to you, we spray it with hormones or spray it with potassium nitrate. We can also prune it, and then we can also smoke it. So there are different techniques to make the flower, to make the mango flower. So as I mentioned to you, in the subtropics, mango set less than one fruit per 5 panicles, so very low number of fruits. The mango fruit is drupe, as you already know. It's also climatic. They develop in 10 to 28 weeks, so it takes quite a bit of time before harvesting. Usually in Oman, because of date palm, so it's about May and June. They develop in 3 months and sometimes longer, but that's how long it takes. From they flower usually around February, March, and they start to be harvested around May to June. In other countries, it takes longer because they are colder. In the subtropic, it takes much longer than in Oman. Okay, so you can see here the number of fruits are very little, and this some of them will not stay there; they will be dropped. So there's very few fruits are set per panicle of mango. Another problem with the mango is something called alternate bearing. Okay, and this means 1 year they will produce too much, the second year will produce less. That's why you need to thin it every time so you balance, so you can get fruit every year. Otherwise, you'll have too much 1 year, too little in the second year. And this alternate bearing is affected by the environment. When you have rain and humidity, is affecting the alternate bearing. Pests and diseases also. The nutrition is the most important. Carbon to nitrogen ratio, nutrient deficiency also affect the alternate bearing. The low number of perfect flower affect the alternate bearing and the hormonal balance of the tree. All these factors are very important in alternate bearing. That means if you are going to have 1 year too much fruits and then a second year will have less fruit, then you have a problem. What you want to do is to have constant yield every year. Okay, so this is the yield, and these are the time. Every year you have the same yield. But what happens in mango, if because of these conditions, 1 year will go high, 1 year will go low. 1 year is high and 1 year is low. So this is called alternate pairing. So this is the yield, and this is 1 year. Second year is high, low. Third year is high. Fourth year is low. Fifth year is high. So it's not the same. What you want is actually a flat curve. The yield is consistent every year, so it doesn't go too high or too low. And to get this, you need to be concerned about all these 5 environmental factors that will affect alternate bearing. Okay, so now back again to the topic of the mango. The types of mango. As I mentioned to you already, there are 2 types of mango, right? One is monoembryonic and one is polyembryonic. And one is Indian, and most of Oman is Indian cultivars, and most of the Asian ones are polyembryonic. And now we'll talk about each of these. Okay, so these are the 2 types of mango. The Indian type, which is monoembryonic, again, monoembryonic. Embryo is what's in the seed. That means mono means one. So this has only one embryo. And the Indo-Chinese type is polyembryonic. Polyembryonic. That poly means many. So here you have one seed, one embryo, each seed. So each seed will give you either one embryo or many embryos. So if there is more than one, it's called polyembryonic, and that means it's Indo-Chinese. It's only one seed will give you one embryo. It is monoembryonic, and that is the Indian type. There is plenty of cultivars in these groups, about 100 cultivars in India. In Oman, there are also many. Worldwide, there is more than 150 cultivars. Okay, now we'll talk about them one by one. The Indian type, remember the Indian type is which one? It is the monoembryonic. Remember always, the Indian type is always monoembryonic. Means one seed will give us one embryo. So if you planted one seed, it will give you just one plant, one mango plant. Okay, so that is the Indian type. The Indian type has characteristics different than the Indo-Chinese or the polyembryonic. What's the difference? First of all, they are monoembryonic. That means there's one seedling, one embryo. Remember, one seed, one embryo, one plant. That's the first thing. But also the color of the fruit is very highly colored. They become of different colors. They will have red blush. You don't see this red blush in polyembryonic. You only see it in monoembryonic. The yellow background, so the ground color is yellow or orange, but they have red blush. This is very important. This is very characteristic of the monoembryonic. The problem with monoembryonic mango is susceptible to anthracnose and mildew. And one of the good things about it also, these are very good things, the flavor is very strong. That smell of the mango is actually turpentine smell. And the taste is mostly acidic. Okay, so there are a few characteristics of mango that is in the monoembryonic types. First of all, only one embryo. Also, it has a red color, red blush. It has acidic taste. It has strong flavor. The smell of turbenta is very strong. Okay. But the problem with the mango trees or the Indian mangoes, they have anthracnose and mildew. So if you grow these kind of mangoes where high humidity, then you will have these two problems. Anthracnose. That's why in Salala, because of the monsoon, the Indian types don't do very well. Examples of the Indian types are Alfonso, Tommy Atkins. This is the international cultivar. Alfonso, you know Alfonso, you see it always in the market. And most of the Omani mangoes are actually Indian types. Most of them. Almost all of them, except for one. The only one that is not Indian is Hindi Abu Sannara. That's a cultivar. The rest are all Indian types. They all have only one seed, and if you open it, you only see it one embryo. This is the type. You can see the color of the fruit. You don't see this in the Indo-Chinese. You don't see it in the polyembryonic. This red color is not there. This color is characteristic of the Indian type. And also the fruit looks like a heart shape. You see the fruit of how it looks like? It's like a heart shape. The polyembryonic, they look very tall. You'll see it now. Now we'll talk about the Indo-Chinese or South Asian type, not the Indian type, South Asian type. The problem with the Indian types is the color. They don't have red color, so they are only pale green or yellow, no red blush. So it's poorly colored. But there are many advantages in this type of mango. First of all, they are very resistant to anthracnose and mildew, so they are do very well where you have high humidity. So in Salala, these will do very well, but the Indian, they will not. The fruit shape is not like a heart shape. They are cylindrical and usually flat. You'll see the shape now. They don't have a strong flavor. They are less acidic, whereas the Indian type is acidic. This is not acidic. Remember, the Indo-Chinese is polyembryonic. That means more than one embryo in the mango. The cultivars that are polyembryonic, examples, Nam Dok Mai, which is Thai mango from Thailand, Carabao from the Philippines, and Hindi Busannara, also grown in Oman, but it is actually Egyptian cultivar. So these are examples of polyembryonic mango that are available in the market. You can see the color here is very poor, not like the Indian type. It's not like Alfonso. There's no red blush, so it's yellow or green, yellow or light green. That's the color of the mango. This is in the market, and this is also the color of the mono or polyembryonic. You can see it here, very tall. This is ripe already, even though it's green, and you can see it here, yellow, also very tall, and these are Indo-Chinese type, or they also the same type as the polyembryonic mangoes. Now we keep talking about monoembryonic and polyembryonic. What's the difference between them? Monoembryonic means, as I mentioned before, one embryo. That means one seed will give you one plant. This whole thing is one embryo, just one. Now look at this one. Polyembryony means more than one. It can be 2, 3, 5, 8, but it's more than one. That's why it's called poly. So that means more than one seedling, more than one plant in the seed. So the seed here is more. So how many here? This is 1, this is 2 on the side, and this is 3, this is 4. They come in different sizes. So this seed, for example, the same seed, but this is only one embryo. This has 4 embryos. And so each of them will grow to become a plant. This will give you 4 plants, 4 seedlings. This will give you just one. What's the difference here? This thing, the one, it's not true to type. True to type. It's not like the mother plant. It will always be different. This one here, this one also not true to type. So this is not true to type. One of them will not be true to type. One. Always one zygotic. This is called zygotic embryo. And this one also because it's zygotic. And there is only one here, so it's only zygotic. Here there are four. One of them zygotic is not going to be like the mother plant, but four of them, or the other three, 1, 2, 3, these are going to be the same like the mother plant. So if your mother plant is Alfonso, this is also going to be like Alfonso. So that's why this is going to be the same like the mother plant. This is very important. Now, this is the polyembryonic seedlings. This is what you see when you open it. You can see this is a tall seed, so that means it came from polyembryonic mango. This is what you see inside, and then when you remove it, this is a Carabao mango and this is a Pico mango. Both of them are from the Philippines. Okay, and both of them are polyembryonic. So you can see here, you can see the shape actually of the seed, because if you can split into two parts, equal parts, then it is just one. So that's monoembryonic. But this cannot be split into two equal parts because it has more than one embryo. There's one embryo here. And so you can see these are three different embryos or two different embryos. So that's how they are. Now, when you plant these two embryos or three embryos, this is what happens when you plant this seed. You can see the same seed now giving you one and two seedlings. Here, in this case, it gave us two seedlings. Remember, if it is more than one, it's polyembryonic, even if they are two. So here, one seed gave us 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different seedlings. See, one of these always zygotic. So one always zygotic means it will be not true to type. So it's not going to look like the mother, one of them. The other will always be like the mother. So this one will not be like the mother, but these three will be like the mother. Okay. Again, the same story here when they actually the Indian types or the monoembryonic with the red plush examples. This is Tommy Atkins, and you can see it's like a heart shape. It's not tall, it's not flat, it's a heart shape. These are common cultivars called Tommy Atkins international cultivar. Most of the mango in the world market is Tommy Atkins. There's also Keat, another common cultivar from Florida. This is from Florida, by the way. This is early. They harvested from June to July. This is late, from August to October. So this is early cultivar, this is late. But both of these are Indian type. Both of these are monoembryonic. So if you plant this seed, you are going to get a different than the mother tree, and it's going to be a different cultivar. Here another set of them: Tommy Atkins, Hayden, Kent, and Keat. All these are they harvested at different times. All of them are susceptible to anthracnose. Why? Because they are monocot, because they are, I mean, monocot, they are monoembryonic and they are Indian type. So all these Indian types, monoembryonic, are susceptible to anthracnose. They don't tolerate high humidity. The Asian commercial cultivars, the Asian ones, are mostly polyembryonic. All of these are polyembryonic. This is the only one that is mono, and you can see the red color in the monoembryonic Indian type. But these are all Indo-Chinese or polyembryonic. The Carabao from the Philippines, Manila from Mexico, Nom, Dokmai from Thailand, and you can see they are tall, okay, and the color is yellow or green. Here you have the red, and it is not tall, it is heart-shaped. This is of course from India, and they harvest in Asia from May to June. How do you propagate mango? Mango is propagated by seed if they are polyembryonic. The seed can last for a long time, actually, from 80 to 100 days. It takes 30 to 10 years to produce fruit if you plant from seed. So you need to be careful not to plant from seed. But if it is for rootstock, we use polyembryonic because at 2 years we use grafting. So it's okay to do polyembryonic mangoes from seed because we use it for rootstock usually. For monoembryonic varieties, we usually do grafting, and this is what happened with mango. So you have grafted trees mostly, which means you have the roots, which we call rootstock. Okay, and then you have the scion on top, and so this is called the scion. So the cultivar here and the root is here. Usually this is polyembryonic or any other cultivar that is known, and this is usually monoembryonic. Why do you do grafting? Because you cannot plant monoembryonic from seed and you get the same type because they cannot be true to type. It takes about 4 years if they are grafted like this, but it takes much longer if you are doing it from seed. This is example, mango from seeds, polyembryonic. We use them for rootstocks. Then we do grafting on these mangoes. But if you try to propagate from seed, it doesn't work. We tried an experiment to do propagation of mangoes from cuttings and they failed. Propagation by layering can succeed. Actually, it can work, but it is very difficult, and most of the time it doesn't succeed as well. So it is low percentage of success in propagating mango by layering, like we see here. What we do mostly is grafting. So first of all, you select a good cultivar. This is the cultivar I want to propagate. Then I take this scion, and this will be my rootstock. Okay, doesn't matter what type of mango is this. This is the most important one, is the scion. And then you graft it like this. You put this on top of that one. You will learn this in plant propagation. Some of you already know. And then you tie it like that. And then finally, after you put it in the mesh system, you cover to the plastic bag. This will start to grow and produce shoot. So in probably 3 to 4 years, this will already produce fruit. This is called grafted mango. So this is called grafting of mango. Pruning is very important for mango in the first 3 years because that's how you train it. And you can, if the mango is already planted, you can do open center training. If it is large, you need to do pruning to remove dead wood, crossing branches, and disease branches. There is a video also on the course website to show you how to prune mango tree when they are young and when they are old. How to prune mango tree is available, and I will show it to you on the course website. This will talk about planting and pruning. If you don't prune the tree, this is how big it becomes. So they can be very big, very large trees. But if you prune them when they are young, this is how they are, very small, and you can plant large number of mangoes in one area and produce double the amount of fruit in the same area. This is what needs to be done. This is a mango tree that is well pruned. So this is what we did. First, you prune it right here. You allow it about 180 centimeter to 1 meter. And then this will branch. You prune, you cut it here, and then they will branch. You select 3 branches. And then after that, you allow this also to grow 1 meter again. Then you cut it, and then this will produce more than 1 branch. You allow 3 branches again. So it takes about 3 years to do this training when you prune the mango tree. So now you end up with a tree like this. Very well done, very nice tree that is well pruned, as you can see here. So this is 1, 2, 3 branches, and each of these will have 3 branches also. The temperature that is playing very important role in mango production. Most of the mango is tropical crop. They grow usually in forest with not too high altitude. They don't do very well in adverse environmental condition. Mango don't like too cold. They don't like high altitude. They don't like saline soils. They don't like drought. So mango is tropical plant that needs all the best climatic conditions to do very well. They grow between 25 and 30 degrees, and this is tropical climates. Okay, they don't like high temperature because high temperature can cause sunburn and sun scorching on the fruit, so you lose the fruit. When it is low temperature, the plant can be killed at very low temperature, sub-zero, so this will damage the young tree. But at 4 degrees Celsius, it will damage even established tree. It will kill the fruits and the flowers. So you have to be careful with cold climates. It doesn't like cold climates. However, it requires cold weather during the winter time, even up to 10 degrees to 5 degrees, to produce really good flowering and fruit set. So you need cold temperature for the flowering and fruit set, but if it is too low, it doesn't like the cold weather. It doesn't like hot weather too. It is tropical plant, so it needs to be between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. This is where the mango grows in tropical climates. Remember, this is Asian type, and this is actually polyembryonic. And if it is too hot, the sun will cause this burn of the fruit, sun scorching. This is called sun scorching or sunburn. The plants of mangoes, they are adapted to areas where there is wet season and dry season, and that's when they produce the fruits, when they don't get anthracnose during the dry season. Dry season is like dry in Oman, dry in the tropics. Too much rain during the flowering time will reduce fruit set, of course, because it's already low fruit set, and more rain will reduce that even more. Is too much rain during fruiting will cause anthracnose and bacterial black spot and fruit flies. So this is not good. It doesn't like too much rain during fruit development, but it likes rain after fruiting, after harvest. What do you need to do? Actually, in dry areas, you have to have irrigation. Then the mango will produce very well. Good floral initiation of dry period, 3 to 2 months is desirable. During the flower initiation, which means during October, November, December, reduce the amount of irrigation because that will increase the number of flowers. This is the irrigation system that is used for mango trees in Al-Botany. The soil also is as I told you before, the mango is very sensitive to all climates, including salinity and sodic soils. They don't like salinity, they don't like soil salt, they don't like drought, they don't like it too hot, they don't like it too cold. So that is the mango tree. It's always like that. Otherwise, they'll just grow green and they will not give you any fruit. The best soils for mango is deep, well drained, fertile, loamy soils with high organic matter, pH between 6 to 7. This is the best for the mangoes. They are tolerant to infertile soils if you give them, of course, fertilizers. Volcanic ash is good. Limestone is also okay. But if you have periodic flooding, they can tolerate that also. They can adapt to flooding, but not during fruiting time. This is calcareous soils, and you can see here from the picture, they are doing very well in this kind of soil. This is called calcareous soil with high pH, around 7 to 8. Fertilizers also, mango is sensitive to fertilizers and they need major and minor nutrients. You can easily see the nutrient deficiency on mangoes. Okay, so you need to apply NPK almost about 200 gram per kilo per tree per year from the age 1 to 3 at the time of establishment. Otherwise, you run into nutrient deficiency like you see here. Insects that infect mango include fruit fly, stem borer, mango midge. These are the symptoms of this mango midge. And you can see here the stem borer, and this is the fruit fly that is damaging to many mangoes around the world. So these are the main insects that affect mango in Oman. There's also the mango malformation diseases. So this is the major disease by Fusarium. You can see the mango malformation here in this picture. As I mentioned, when you have high humidity, high relative humidity, or rain, you will have a lot of anthracnose. If you have what? If you have Indian mangoes or monoembryonic mangoes, it's called by a fungi, and you can see the fruit becomes, and even the leaves, the fruit become not sellable. You cannot sell it. It's already infected with anthracnose, and this is typical. You can see this in the, you can see this is an Indian mango because the color is red. And so this kind of cultivars cannot tolerate rain or high humidity because of the infection of anthracnose. Another major disease in Oman is called mango sudden decline. You maybe learn about this disease in other courses, but basically this is caused by a fungi also, Ceratocystis, and it is transmitted by bark beetle. And this is the decline can infect the tree itself and the rootstock. Here in this case, affecting the rootstock. The tree is healthy, but the rootstock is not. This tree is also infected. When the tree is infected, the whole tree dries. That's why it's called mango sudden decline, because within 2 weeks, the whole tree collapses. Okay, it becomes dry and dead. This is mango bark beetle that transfer the disease from one tree to the next, and so it's the vector for the mango sudden decline. And this is the fungi Ceratocystis. Ceratocystis fimbriata is the causal agent. Another type, also complex, is referred to in Oman because it was discovered in Oman by our colleague Dr. Ali Subhi and Dr. Abdullah and others. And so it is called Ceratocystis omanensis because it is originated in Oman. This disease is similar to another disease that is in Brazil. It's called seca de mangueira, which is the seca disease. Seca means dry, the drought disease of the mango. It's causing the same symptoms. You can see here only one branch is actually dry because that's how the disease is. Sometimes the whole tree is dry, sometimes only one branch is dry. So this is very typical of mango sudden decline disease. Because of this disease, we lost about 60% of mangoes in Oman due to the mango sudden decline caused by a fungi called Ceratocystis fimbriata, and it is transmitted by these bark beetles. See, the beetles here are going in and out. How do you control Ceratocystis or mango sudden decline? Until now, there's no effective way to deal with it. What we can do is remove the tree that is dead, try different chemical treatments, cultural practices also to make sure that it does not you don't transfer the disease from plant to another, and also to enhance the health of the tree with nutrient deficiencies, irrigation, and so on. You can also try to look for varieties that are resistant, and we already have some varieties that are resistant, like rose, for example, from United States of America. This is the mango now, treated with copper. This is copper. This will not remove the disease, but it will not allow the bark beetle to infect the tree. So the bark beetle will stay away from this tree because of the spraying of or painting with copper. These are new cultivars that are tolerant to mango sudden decline. The problem with cultivars, because when you bring a new cultivars, you know, people are not used to it. They don't like the taste of the fruit. So this is the problem. Even though this is resistant to mango sudden decline, but the yield, the fruit, is not of a good quality. Mangoes are harvested, as I mentioned before, about 3 months after flowering. So usually around May, June, for most of the cultivars. There are cultivars that produce more than one time, like Burmasi. We have something called Burmasi cultivar. Burmasi usually grow more than one time, produce flowers more than one time. So it is harvested more than one time throughout the season. Marketing of mango in Oman, as you know, is all traditional. Very little goes to Mawalih market, and we don't really have big factories to process mangoes. But in other countries, of course, this is also the same case. Most of the mangoes are locally marketed in local markets. As you can see here, this is from Florida, and this is from the Philippines, and this is from I don't know where. One thing when you harvest a mango that is very important, you have to be careful. You know the sap, when you harvest the mango, there's a white sap that comes from where you harvest the mango. That sap is very allergic. It has a volatile substances. This latex, the sap of the mango fruit, can cause burn. See this guy here? He is burned because of the mango sap. The sap goes here. So be careful when you harvest the mango because you can cause yourself a severe skin rash that will be lasting for a long time. So just be careful. Mango can be used in a variety of ways. Can be used as a juice, dried fruit, dried back mangoes, in candles, in cakes, mango chutney, fresh fruits, ice cream, in juices. So it's very important crop that is consumed also worldwide. It can be introduced into many other food products. That's all for now. I wish you all the best and good luck. Bye bye.